This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(1:15). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Niranjan Abesundara. Last customer beneficiary payment for the month of July will be given first from the banks tomorrow. Interest rates of banks will be reduced by 3.5% by the end of the year. 2 agreements will be signed to bring back artifacts taken by Dutch in the year 1765 from the country. Heat in 9 districts between 39 and 45 degrees Celsius today. Over 7 acres of forest area destroyed in a fire at Totilagama mountain region. In world news, protests erupt in Libya over contact with Israel. State Minister of Finance Shehan Semasinga said the Treasury has been directed 5 billion rupees to the banks for the payment of ASPASMA beneficiaries. Opportunities will be made for the beneficiaries to obtain their finances through the banks from tomorrow. Considering on the appeals and objections relevant to the ASPASMA benefit have already been commenced. He also stated that the payment for the month of July will be given first. State Minister of Finance Raisi Ambalivete said the bank interest rate will be reduced by 3.5% by the end of this year. Inflation in the country has arrived at a single digit. Central Bank has issued a circular to commercial banks to reduce the bank loan rates. He has stated that attention has been paid to further reduce the bank interest rates. Participating in the program of the SLBC, he said stern legal action will be taken against the persons who engage in the pyramid scheme. Minister Vidura Vikramanayake says that 2 agreements will be signed to bring back artifacts taken by the Dutch in the year 1765 from the country. Agreement will be signed by the Ministry of Buddhist Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs. 3 diplomatic representatives, including Secretary of the Netherlands on Health and Media, arrived in the island. At the first phase, 6 artifacts are to be received. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Following today's heat index, 9 districts of the country will be noticed by human body, Met Department has announced. According to the index, it is stated that the heat index will be between 39 and 45 degrees Celsius today. Districts of Mullaitivu, Vavuniya, Trincomalee, Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa, Batticaloa, Ampara, Badulla and Munaragala. Therefore, Department urges people to drink enough water, stay under the shade as much as possible, and pay special attention to the small children, the elderly and the sick. A forest area of over 7 acres has been destroyed in the forest fire that had reportedly broken out last night in the Palmadulla area. The fire spread in the Totilagama mountain area in Kutapitiya, Palmadulla, according to the police. Efforts to control the fire are still underway by the police officers and the Sri Lanka Army, together with the local residents, the Palmadulla police stated. The cause of the fire is yet to be determined while Palmadulla police are conducting investigations regarding the incident. Earlier the month, authorities including Disaster Management Centre raised concerns that significant increase in deliberate forest fires would create a risk of possible disasters in the near future within several areas including the Badulla district. There we end the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Disaster Management Centre say that more than 300,000 persons have been affected from the prevailing drought. According to the data of Centre, it has revealed that 84,643 families in 9 districts are suffering without water. Northern and eastern provinces are the most affected areas. Measures have been taken to provide drinking water through buses. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Live is brought to you by
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
The closing date for the applications call for the teachers to mark the answer scripts for the Year 5 Sculpture examination will end on the 1st of next month. The Year 5 Sculpture exam will be held on the 15th of October. Examining departments say relevant applications to be submitted through online process, and further details could be obtained by visiting the website www.doenets.lk or www.onlineexams.gov.lk. That came to you in Watchlight.
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
On to world news. Protests erupt in Libya over contact with Israel. Taliban banned women from visiting popular national park. China's summer of climate destruction. Libya's Prime Minister has suspended his foreign minister after she met informally with her Israeli counterpart. Libya does not recognize Israel as Tripoli backs the Palestinian cause, and the meeting has sparked protests. Israel's A. Cohen described the meeting with Naila al-Magoush as a historic first step in establishing relations. Israel is trying to build closer ties with more Arab and Muslim-majority countries such as oil-rich Libya. As well as suspending Magoush, Prime Minister Abdul Hamid Dela referred her for investigations. The Taliban government has banned women from visiting the Band-e-Army National Park in the Bamiyan province. Afghanistan's acting Minister of Virtue and Vice, Mohammad Kanafi, said women had not been observing hijab inside the park. He called religious clerics and security agencies to forbid women from entering until a solution was found. Bandi-Amir is a significant tourist attraction, becoming Afghanistan's first national park in 2009. It's a popular destination for families, and the ban on women attending will prevent many from being able to enjoy the park. China's summer this year has been both extreme heat and devastating floods. The flooding this time around has struck areas where such water has been unheard of, with scientists blaming climate change, warning that the worst is yet to come. Devastation in the northeast China's Heilongjiang province has had a major impact on food supplies for the whole country. Back to the headlines of the world news. Protests erupt in Libya over contact with Israel. Taliban banned women from visiting popular national park. China's summer of climate destruction. That was world news.
Development News is brought to you by
Job opportunities for well-experienced housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait for ages 40 to 58 years. Salary 135,000 rupees. Contact 037 7500 500.
Sri Lanka Red Cross Society has implemented a program to provide medicine and health care for low-income families free of charge. Vice Chairman of the Society, Jagat Abesingh, said this program was implemented considering the increase of prices of medical drugs and the shortage with a financial assistance of $25,000. Health camps have been set up in Kolonava, Megada, Kolonava and Polgasvita areas. That came to you in Development News.
Job opportunities for women from Deshakti Lanka in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Oman. Housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia, ages 40 to 58 years. Arabic speaking and well experienced home cooks. Salary 135,000 rupees. Interviews are now on with foreign agents. You can travel overseas free of charge now. Branches Colombo, Kurunegala, Anuradhapura and Matara. Contact number 0377 500 500. Deshakti Lanka Foreign Employment Agency.
In sports news, Asia's cricket giants India, Pakistan and Sri Lanka will get a final chance to size each other up before October's 50-over World Cup when Asia Cup begins on Wednesday. For rivals India and Pakistan could clash as many as 3 times if they go all the way in the Six Nation Continental Championship. Pakistan and Sri Lanka are co-hosts. A hybrid model agreed after World Cup host India refused to tour Pakistan with the final on September 17th in Colombo. The second match of the Under-19 one-day cricket tournament between West Indies and Sri Lanka will commence at Dambulla Playground on Wednesday. Third match between the two nations will be conducted on the 1st of next month. That was Sports News.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දඟපු ගීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship recommend.
The all-new NSB Itru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cinnamon Life Integrated Resort has proudly claimed second place at the prestigious International Congress and Convention Association Asia Pacific Business Events Youth Challenge Finals, underscoring a remarkable triumph on the global stage. This achievement signifies a momentous milestone for the Cinnamon Life Integrated Resort and the country on the international events landscape. The competition witnessed 50 emerging professionals across the Asia-Pacific region. Only 8 finalists from Sri Lanka, Thailand, Korea, Malaysia and Australia were selected to present their proposals in Pyongyang, Korea this week. That was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go එකක් තියන youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship recommend.
The all-new NSB Itru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news. Thailand and Sri Lanka expect to sign a free trade agreement in early 2024 as the two parties aim for 3 more rounds of talks this year to conclude the negotiations, according to the chief of the Trade Negotiations Department. Director General of the department speaking at the 6th round of negotiations for Thailand and Sri Lanka FTA held on 21st and 23rd of this month in Bangkok said talks have advanced beyond the halfway point. That was economic news.
Weather report.
Shower conditions expected to enhance to some extent in the southwestern part of the island in the next few days, starting from today. Slow spells of showers will occur in the western Sabah provinces, the Norelia, Kandy, Galle and Matara districts. Showers and showers will occur in several places in the Uva province and Ampan and Batagor districts the evening or night. That is the report, and back to the headlines of the news. Assessment beneficial payment for the payment of July, month of July will be given first from the banks tomorrow. Interest rates of banks will be reduced by 3.5% by the end of this year. 2 agreements will be signed to bring back the ancient artifacts taken by Dutch in the year 1765 from the country. Heat in 9 districts between 39 and 45 degrees Celsius today. Over 7 acres of forest area destroyed in a fire at the Lagama mountain region. In world news, protests erupt in Libya over contact with Israel. With that, we end the afternoon's broadcast into Radio Sri Lanka.